In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a werewolf design that isn't actually 3D, but the background is made entirely of acrylic. So it's got this glowing moon and a glowing background with some glitter in it. I love that combination. That just background nail I just absolutely adore with the different kinds of glow-in-the-dark powders. And those are from Double Dip, and I'll put the links to them and the color names and discount code and all that fun stuff in the description box below. And don't forget to check out Helen's design. Hers is actually quite similar to mine with the silhouette of a werewolf howling at the moon. And also, don't forget to click subscribe to see my future videos as well. So to begin this, I'm going to be creating just a very, very thin overlay of a dark blue acrylic. Keep this overlay as thin as you possibly can, and if there even is like a patch of like transparent acrylic because it's so thin in the middle, that's fine. You just want to get a base layer of color down. So just, keep it in mind that thin is the goal here. So once you're happy with it and you've got that super thin layer of acrylic, even if you sculpted it thicker and you had to file some off so you get that pancake thinness, then you can do that too. But we're going to be adding just a shadow of black acrylic around the perimeter of the nail. So I'm going to start right along the proximal fold and just blend that down. Use wet black acrylic so that it doesn't, it's not hard to blend out and you don't end up with too much, because you want that blue to show through. You're just adding a shadow. And if you're not, you're like, this is acrylic, I don't mess around with acrylic, you can do that with acrylic paint. You can do this shading part here, acrylic paint, easy peasy, go for it. It doesn't have to be actually the LNP acrylic. You can, mix it up a little bit if you need to, or even gel polish. If you're a gel person, gel polish would work for that. But then I'm going to sculpt the circle over the moon in the middle of the nail, and I actually regret how thick I made my moon at this particular stage, because this could have been thinner too. I don't know, I forgot my whole pancake thinness mantra. So you want to maybe do your moon slightly thinner than I did. I put down a bit too much acrylic, but tuck the sides in so you have a nice clean circle. If you need to, you can always file the edge of that circle to fix it up if that becomes something that is necessary. And then after you have the moon done to this stage, you're going to grab a bead of clear glow-in-the-dark, which is Double Dips Bodacious, and that's G10, which is like my favorite color. If you don't have any colors from Double Dip and you are just like glow-in-the-dark, I would try Bodacious. If that's the one color you try from them, it is that one, because it is so versatile and it is so glowy, like just mind-blowingly glowy. And then I'm going to fade some glittery blue from, this is the color Rock Candy, which is G10. Again, super glowy, just a little less versatile because it is a blue glitter versus just a clear that you can apply over anything. And so I'm going to just kind of bump that right up against the moon and then brush it down so that the glowiness fades towards the black, and so does the glitter, and so does the light color. So it's intensifying the gradient, and it's also making the glow in the darkness gradient. So do you guys see that? I don't know if you saw that in the beginning, how it kind of gets less and less glowy towards the outside of the nail. So that's what we're doing there. And then you're going to need to encapsulate this nail with a layer of clear acrylic, because so far we were just really focusing on color and visuals and not structure and strength. This layer of encapsulation is so crucial to make sure that everything is going to be smooth and even and perfect and strong in the end. So you've got that layer of clear there. Tap it out. You probably don't need to encapsulate the moon necessarily, because that, like I said, I ended up getting that a little thicker than I probably intended. So if you don't need to worry about the moon, don't worry about the moon. Just do the rest and make sure you get acrylic on all sides, especially on the little sides of the moon where it's a really skinny background. That's an easy place to miss, so try not to forget that. But now we're going to be filing this nail into shape with an E-file. Anytime you do a design that has all these different layers, just look at it and monitor it and make sure you don't file through something that's important when you're filing. But now with some black acrylic paint, we're going to be painting the silhouette of a werewolf. So acrylic paint, if you wanted to use it before for doing the shading, this would be the same step, but I would have used like a sponge for it to dab it out and create that soft gradient around the border. But for this, a little paintbrush is the tool for the job. I started out with the hind quarters of my werewolf, and then I went through and I added kind of like the heel and the legs and the little feet at the tip of the nail. When you're painting this, I know it's hard to see the details in daylight as far as where it's past the moon, where like the bottom of his legs and his feet are, but definitely look at it and keep track of it and make sure that that looks good, because once this nail is in the dark, you can see all those details, because it is, it's going to glow behind it, and everywhere you put this black paint is going to create a little shadow appearance as far as it goes, and a little black silhouette when this nail is in the dark, because it won't let that glow show through it. So even if it doesn't seem like the details are important because they don't show up against the background, it may show up later. So that's something to just keep in mind. So paint all of these details, and then to make him show up a little bit better against that dark background, I did decide to go through and add little teeny tiny highlights here and there with white paint. And instead of doing like straight lines and more of an outline with the white paint, I have just the tiniest little bit of the color on my brush, and I just did these tiny strokes with it, so I have these little fur lines instead of doing something more precise. And then after all that painting's done, you can apply a layer of gel sealer and cure, and that is it. The glow-in-the-dark reveal for this nail is just so impressive. I love it so much. I hope you guys love it as much as I do, and please share any recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram because I would love to see them. I'm always so flattered when I get your guys' recreations, and I will see you next time. Bye!